added it. So that's one thing I'm gonna have to figure out in 2022, like exactly where this thing is streaming on. Maybe I'll just go back to one place, but I wanted to give people options. Wanted to give people some choices. What up, Fletch? Fletch says, I see. It seems I know lots of people with the Omicron lately. It took me a while because I thought it was Omnicron, like a world-changing transformer. Look up in the sky, Omnicron. Yeah, JRD knows what I'm talking about. In Richmond, Virginia, it's East Broad bootleg CDs. You like CD? Yo, JRD, you like CDs? T-shirts and ninja stars. Yo, fam, we could just talk all episode about getting bootleg nun. We used to call them nunchucks off the avenue with the what they used to call them Chinese slippers with the with the I guess you would call that cultural appropriation now, but there was nothing cooler than kung fu dudes back in the 80s and ninjas. Ninjas were hot. Yo, what up, Jim? My favorite animator, Jim Luhan, says, I think I have the Jamara virus because I can't get enough. Is it Thursday yet? Is it JN time again? Thank you, Jim. I appreciate that, brother. I thought Omnicron was Robocop. What is it? OCP controls the cops. I just quoted Robocop. I'm all over the place already. I just quoted Robocop not that long ago. Murphy, I'm a mess. Timeless. Timeless movies right there. JRD is getting beat up at school. JRD, folks at school hated my pedantic tuckus, always correcting folks with the correct names of those Japanese weapons. Actually, it's a sai, a three-pronged edged weapon for disarming or getting poked with. That was a real 80s that was a real 80s thing. I guess we're going to be in the 80s for a minute. In the period of the 80s, I grew up in Philly, and I was talking about trading places earlier on my Facebook because my Instagram is still down. Might keep it that way. I'm enjoying not thinking about it. I put on Facebook because somebody had said, so and so, what's the big debate? Is Die Hard a Christmas movie, right? That's been going on for years. And some people say Christmas doesn't start until Hans Gruber falls off the top of Nakatomi Plaza. I posited that Beat Street, the 1980s breakdancing movie, is also a Christmas movie. Discuss. I love it. There's so many jewels for RoboCop. Oh well, yeah. Well, I mean, this is pre Ninja Turtles. Like before the cartoon, that's when like everybody knew about the Ninja Turtles. But we're straight Channel 48 Kung Fu Theater, Bruce Lee flicks, and then people were noticing that it wasn't always Bruce Lee; it'd be Bruce Lee, or Bruce Lee, and all of that, and just like it was hot, man. People loved that. I mean, I wasn't part of the culture, like especially like in New York. Well, 40 Deuce back on 42nd when it was like a hot zone. It wasn't Disney it wasn't Disney Midtown. You could go and catch a karate flick, sit in the balcony and just watch movies all afternoon. But yeah, that was after like Saturday morning cartoons would go off, and then I think like 12:30, 1 o'clock, the Kung Fu flicks would come on, and you would just be tearing it up in the living room, like jumping off of stuff, trying to kick your cousin in the neck. Yo, what up, Trey? Good to see you, bro. It was the Duke. It was the Dukes. You're a dead man, Valentine. I could do Trading Places quotes too. JRD says, yeah, RVA never showed the Shaw stuff that I was aware of, but the occasional Bruce Lee film, yeah. And I think a lot of people revisited the karate stuff, kung fu flicks, ninja flicks, when the era of bootleg VHS tapes came out. Again, you go to the Ave, and you have somebody who would just have like a bread crate, not a milk crate. Like a bread crate is like a long, kind of shallow crate, just filled with VHS joints. And he'd be like, yo, you got Chinese super ninjas? Yo, you got flying guillotine fam? Yeah, right here. Yeah, yeah. Yo, you like tapes? It showed our age. We go back so far. We used to call Nintendo tapes. Now we know they weren't tapes, but everything was a tape. Yo, man, let me borrow that Nintendo tape. Let me get that Zelda. Oh, you guys threw me off. I was talking about um, belt buckles, and that was the thing. I never had one. There's a couple things that I didn't have, and there's a lot of things that we didn't have back then. But it was just kind of like, that was the flavor. You would go to the Ave, right? And this like early '80s. There were already like bootleg fashion items. Charity. Um, like you could get a Gucci backpack, which somebody just screen printed Gucci on the back of something, or Playboy, or what was it? What else was hot back then? A little later, it was like MCM and Fendi and stuff like that, and you would just rock that. Um, but going back to that whole like b-boy aesthetic, that hip hop, early hip hop aesthetic, a flavorful, yeah, bro. Shing, shing. I like that's how they spell Gucci. Um, a cool hip hop flair would be either your shell toe Adidas or your suede Clyde Pumas. Either of those were acceptable at some point, with the fat laces. Here in Philly, and some maybe a little further down I-95, they used to call them New Yorkers. So it was people would do these really intricate patterns, and the fat laces, you didn't tie them, and that's still when people try to do hip hop stuff, like old retro b-boy looks, and they'll have on like the shell toes, but we didn't use the skinny laces. You never put skinny laces because Run DMC didn't have shoelaces at all. They would walk around and the tongues would be out. But the kids in school would buy, I don't know, either you had stolen shoes off of somebody and you wore them, or I'm getting to a point, because kids used to take grocery bags and stuff them in the toes of the shell toes to make sure they didn't. I'm not exactly sure why they did that. I think that sometimes kids had shoes that weren't their size. They would stuff shopping bags in the bottom of them. But then, yeah, you would have to get a girl from your block or your sister or something to lace up the shell toes, because they all were like under ties, so it just looked like a perfect line, or maybe a crisscross lace thing. Yo, what up, Kyle? Good to see you, bro. Um, oh wait, hold on. JRD says, "Oh yeah, fat laces and fatter clunky rings that covered at least three knuckles." Oh yeah, we can get to that. We talk about the three-finger ring, four-finger ring. Now, some of this stuff didn't start to cross pollinate. So just like, hold on, let me finish my b-boy aesthetic. So you had the classic low profile sneaker. Um, and skinny jeans were a thing back then, and then people act like you didn't wear skinny jeans back then, but you used to wear, everything was tight. Lee jeans, pinstripe Lee jeans. I had a pair of pinstripe Lee jeans. The famous colorway back in Philly was the red leads with the black pinstripes. Later on, there was two tones, and I'm going real deep into Philly. In the mid '80s, there was a tailor. It was an Italian family, the Palmieri's. People would go to Mount Airy neighborhood in Germantown. It was like basically South Germantown, Mount Airy. They get a pair of Palmieri's. You would get custom tailored two-tone jeans. They would sometimes put suede patches in the front, like Zartan on Zartan's pants. You have like a leather patch or suede patches, and then the backside would be a different color. Yo, people used to get stuck up for the Palmieri's, yo. Yo, running Palmieri's, yo. The classic tracksuit never hurt. A little later on, which I think LL Cool J had a lot to do with this. Cats were heavy in the classic Adidas tracksuit, TI suit. I had a couple of TI tracksuits. And then actually, I think it was maybe Fresh Prince started popularizing the French tennis look and some of those like French designs like Lecoq Sportif. I remember our gym teacher. I was in sixth grade. Came to school with some Lecoq Sportif tennis shoes on, and people clowned him. But then the next season, people was like, "Yo, man, those rooster joints is hot." I'm kind of getting off track. I'm getting excited. Other things. This is like right around when the first Jordans came out, like a little later. Um, kids used to get robbed for their Lee patches. People would rip the Lee patch off of the back of your jeans, and then they put them on their shoes. Kids used to put thumbtacks on the bottom of their sneakers, so it sounded like they had taps on. They weren't tap dancing, but you just scratched up the floor in the hallway in the school walking around. All right, let's get to some of these. You got me monologuing. Yo, man, Zartan's my dude. A sip of coffee for Zartan. Yo, Z Cavarici. Yeah, that came a little later. That was late 80s. New Kids on the Block. If you knew any cool white boys, they rock the Z Cavarici. They're kind of like, they're almost like joggers now, what the kids wear now. They're kind of like, I don't even know the material. Everything was rayon for a minute. But they were kind of almost like waistbanded, and then they had a little white label on the right, like on the fly. It said Z Cavarici with I think they had kind of like cuff uh, cuffed ankle joints. You know, got into a couple of dust ups with some kids rocking Z Cavarici with the vest, no shirt. Kyle says, I was a pre-teenage breakdancer in the 80s. The nylon windbreaker from Frankfurt's Crestiges was a must for killer windmill. Yo, keep your windmills breezy. I was getting to the windbreaker. You get you a Fly Puma windbreaker. Ooh, a red one with the white stripe. And it was almost like you thought this stuff was going to make you be a beast on the cardboard when you came in all fitted out. So good. But yeah, so it turned into really quick that the gold stuff kind of turned into just like a little thing that you tried to do if you could afford it. But then people started getting robbed so much that turned into a new kind of flex where if you could walk through the neighborhood or stand at the bus stop or walk through your school just dripped in gold, then that was like a challenge. Like, yo, I dare you to come rob me. So like I know that you had to be built for that. The worst thing is that you got a chain and then you got your chain taken. Don't come home to that. That's not a good look. But then at some point it turned into like that was like heavy drug dealer stuff. Like, and I don't know what people think about drug dealers, but back then it was just like if you ever see New Jack City and stuff like that. The drug dealers were like, they call them like hustlers. That was a big Philly thing. It was just kind of like almost like the end of like the like a gangster period. Always like just dipped out smooth, maybe like a custom Fendi tracksuit, four fingered rings is dipped out, Alpina frames. I don't know. I could talk about this crap all night. Jared D says, I could never afford Puma, stuck with off brand house cat. Trey co-signs on that. All right, let's get to it, you guys. Yeah, Kyle says the Jordans had the same danger rep as a goal. Oh, dude, you were asking for it if you came out when those black and red Jordan, those like the ones, right? The original Jordans. I'm not a sneakerhead, and I kind of sign off on a lot of that stuff early. But I did have a pair of white on white Jordans. They were nice, and I had to fight a lot to keep them on my feet. Guys, we're at the end of the year. I don't know what happened. Why don't we just talk about Thanksgiving? And now tomorrow is New Year's Eve. Does anybody have any New Year's Eve plans, or also does anybody have any New Year's Eve traditions? Like, do you do the same thing every year? Like, you get together with your family and play Monopoly and watch the ball drop and watch New Year's Rocky Eve, and then around 1 o'clock you just get bored and you go to bed? Or are you somebody that always has to be out in the street at New Year's when the ball drops? I want to say it one more time. I'd love to hear what your traditions. Tell me about what your deal is for New Year's Eve, and maybe similarly how that's changed with the pandemic. Oh, Trey, that's sweet. Trey says he feels so refreshed being on here. I miss you all. I miss you too, bruh. This is what we do here. We took a week off. We took 2 weeks off. Pencil to Pencil still on hiatus. We're gonna come back to you on the 5th, I believe. That's next Wednesday with new fresh content. Really excited. Fletch says I'm hanging with my buddy playing Xbox, probably WWE 2020. Oh wow! I heard, was it 2019? The WWE 2019 that everybody said was straight trash. Jared Deuce's plans, yes, may become a tradition. My friends at Loading Snacks, shout out to Loading Snacks, are hosting Popeyes in pajamas. Yo, yeah, I'm down with that. Where folks could take out from Popeyes and we gather online and play fun party games. Yo, that sounds hot. What's your go-to at Popeyes? I rides for some beans and rice, or maybe with a spicy 3-piece. But I don't get to Popeyes often. Kyle says traditional dinner with the parents and sister with nephew. I have been so isolated for the past 2 weeks trying to stay clean. I feel you, bro. It's rough out here in these streets, cousin. Oh, right. Yo, those guys were hype. All right. Every time you said their name, they went, Loading Snacks. I love energy, high energy. Fletch says, no, it was the 2020 that was all buggy. I hope it's been modded by now. Yeah. I'm not going to talk about pro wrestling because I'm not going to have any viewers after that. But that sounds cool. I know that, the world's in a weird spot, but I think if anything, it's good to just reflect on what a crazy year we've had. Trey says, I need a sandwich where there's a biscuit instead of the bun. That's like a sandwich or like a breakfast sandwich, because we do that heavy down here. You go to Wawa, get you a sizzly. That'll be like, you ready? It's like bacon, egg, and cheese on a biscuit, like a buttered biscuit, bruh. Yo, E, what up, E? Shut up, sip of coffee. I gotta put it on. I'm gonna try to do it every time. Sip of coffee for my man E. E, what'd you say? Not so much tradition when it comes to New Year's Eve, but New Year's Day is all about black eyed peas and collard greens. We're brothers from another mother. So, E, do you want to tell them about the tradition of black eyed peas? No, I'm not talking about Will I Am and Apple D App and Fergie. That's not the black eyed peas we're talking about. Yo, you getting co-signed. You getting poetry snaps on that one. Trey says, "Oh snap! All right, let me pull up a Wawa then. I heard their hoagies are fire, bruh. No, you know what? Wawa hoagies are cool. I'm not gonna say they're amazing. There's better, just like neighborhood mom and pop hoagies that that'll make you like turn into turn into a bobblehead like fam. But they're good, man. They're good. There's also a secret menu on the Wawa touchscreen. Yo, Marshall, you made it. What's up, fam? Good to see you. Wait, JRD's just shots fired or Will I Am? Will I Am is the bogus black eyed peas. Collar's got the real black eyed peas. Oh no. Yeah, E. Yo, sip of coffee. I can't do the sipper and have the comment. The peas rep the coins, the greens rep the dollar bills. Eat and ye shall reap. Love it. Does anybody have any New Year's Day superstitions? Like I know one thing is like you have to have a pot of black eyed peas cooked for the day. There's another one. There's a couple of things. Depends on like if you're from the South. I'm sure you have superstitions or traditions about New Year's Day. One that I always remember and try to I recall this one is that the first person to cross the threshold of your home in the new year is supposed to be a man, and I don't really know. Now we're in a whole gender thing. I don't know if that still applies, but that was a thing. I think that was like supposed to bring you good luck. Or also, they would say the thing that you do or you're doing or the people you're keeping company with on New Year's Eve is going to carry on into your energy for the next year. I'd love to hear anything you guys have, and then I'm going to do an ID. Oh, Kyle, penny on the outside windowsills. I don't know that one. No, you got it right the first time. What is that? What's that about? Oh, we're talking about food. JRD says, "Yo, for real, the two best." What have I done to JRD? He's over here using this language. Yo, for real. Come on, JRD. What happened? Yo, for real, the two best places for sandwiches of any kind in my area are the two Korean-owned cafes that are on the first floor of my two doctor's office buildings. All right, we're heading out. We're pulling up, as Trey would say. Marshall, thank you. Marshall asked how I'm doing. You see, that's what groups for. How you doing? How am I doing? How are we doing? I'm doing great, brother. It's good to be back. I wish the attendance was a little higher, but you know what? Tabernacle is always good, no matter who walks through our doors. Glad to see you. I'm glad you didn't turn in for the night, so hang out with us. Yeah. Kyle says the penny on the windowsill brings in money into the home for the year. Grandma's tradition. I like it. E says, yeah, I've heard the second one you said about what you're doing at midnight is what you'll do throughout the year. All right. See y'all on those sneaky links. All right, let's do an ID. The energy's weird in here. Let's break this up. You're watching Coffee Break with JN, with your boy JN, Philadelphia's favorite son. Jamar Nicholas is my government. Some call me the Grand Poobah of indie comics. That's a tried and true nickname. That goes back to 1999. I have a hoodie that says Poobah on it. It's real. Some newer ones are the Black Dick Cavett, Johnny Carson, it's wild stuff. And I think my PM John, and my favorite right now, Jean Luc Picard, engaged. Make it so. Number one knows what that's about, right, JRD? What happens here? Well, you get to hang out with me, cartoonist Jamar Nicholas. That's right, I'm a cartoonist too. You watch me drink this coffee. Astro Boy, 100,000 horsepower. What does he say? See him swim through oceans, fly through space, smash criminals, catch criminals, and run my mouth. And when I'm out of coffee, tell him Trey, video over. Thanks for hanging out with me. While we're at it, let's do a GLO. You know what a GLO is. Go looking out to those fine feathered patronuses of mine over on my Patreon campaign who at a $2 tier. I shout them out in conspicuous and inconspicuous places. Thank you so much for your support. If you're interested on how you can get in on a big win, how you can join the JNN Jamar Nicholas Network, you know about that. Check out my Patreon. No, that's not it. Patreon.com/Jamar Nicholas, where you may see me do Morning Constitutional, where you get to watch me at the breakfast table, running my mouth and eating my breakfast and giving updates to the Patronuses. Car John, where you might see me in my car drinking tell them what it is, GRD, oat milk latte from Dunkin' Donuts. Or the fortnightly Patreon exclusive podcast, It Ain't Hard to Tell, IAHTT, that I do with my compatriot and longtime friend, comic illustrator, and wunderkind Michael Hawthorne. We just dropped one yesterday. It's hot. It's fire. And you'll only see it there. So what are you waiting for, fam? Go check it out. Peep it. Well, hello. All right. Let's see what we got. Trey says, have you tried the honey oat milk latte from Starbucks? Bro, that sounds like I'll be doing the I'll be doing the Harlem Shake off of that. That sounds mad sweet. IAHTT, we're staying up until 3, 4. So the thing with me is that Mike and I record It Ain't Hard to Tell, and then we drop it on Thursday. Mike drops his during the day. I drop mine the night before. So I usually drop it around 12:31 a.m. just because I know there's my nocturnal cats out there. You know, those late night Mac tonight moon chins out there just burning the midnight oil. And you know, JRD's right. You get into it, you're like, yo, I just gotta watch this now. I love it. Trey says, I always want to ask questions, but I think maybe my questions are unrelated or dumb. Come on, bro. It's an AMA. You ask us anything, and we'll give you the good Jake. Like once you had asked if I was into Street Fighter 2 or something like that. And I think I wanted to bring it up, but I think I just answered you on the thing. Please ask questions. I love them. See? Ask your questions. Shoot your shot. That's right. So I guess we haven't talked since if you celebrate since Christmas. Do we? No, I don't think we did. How was everybody's Hanukkah, Christmas, finishing up Kwanzaa? How was all that for you guys? Anybody get anything cool? Yeah, I like that. Well, you don't have to be off the wall either. Just ask your questions, bro. Yeah, you don't have to try to trip us up. Just ask your question. Like, yo, you've been in the game for since 1997. What's changed in the business from then to now? That's a great question. I just asked myself that. Or, what's the oldest article of clothing you have in your closet? That's a good question. JRD says they take my questions. No question is too stupid. That's funny. But yeah, guys, I'm glad you're here. I'm glad we're rocking out. You know what I'm saying? It's good to be back. Um, I was I asked a second ago if anybody got anything cool. It's funny. The older you get, the more getting gifts isn't as important or amazing or whatever because you have other responsibilities. Or I'm sure if you have kids or you have a blended family or whatever, seeing the smiles on children's faces is a gift enough. But also it's funny to see how some of my buddies who just they put in work all year, doing heavy lifting for the family, and then I'll ask them like, "Yo, what does Santa bring you?" They say like just some real basic shit, like, "Yo, I got a candle." Like for real. Yo, Maserati, what's good? Thanks for joining us, fam. Welcome to Coffee Break. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, I guess it's almost like dad's getting a tie for Christmas. It's like y'all couldn't have thought anything else. Is this what Christmas is all about? JRD says, give me some chatter, yo. I feel like I'm drowning over here. Give me some life, bro. Ask some questions. Or give me some statements. JRD says, according to my sis, Hanukkah was good. For us, Christmas was nice and low key, pretty quiet. Got lots of tea. That's what's up. You'll spill it. And Kidlet was stoked to get mic brushes in the most recent Daredevil trade in a Tirada and Kim Jong Ji book. Wow, that's a nice haul. Trey says, I got a brand new laptop for Christmas, and my friends got me some comic books and a sketchbook. Nice. One 80s Avengers, one Spider-Man, Batman Who Laughs, and one Green Lantern joint. Yo, you got comics on deck. I like it. JRD says, Kidlet and I got a pair of teddy bears that are on point doppelgangers for the two of us. That's great. That's great. You know what? I like when, and this is it. Like I used to be a person that took birthdays and Christmas and those type of events very to heart, um, because I could probably be totally wrong, and maybe I'm a huge narcissist. But I used to have this feeling that I'm a really good friend. I try to be a good friend. I try to be there for people. Maybe I'll get something hot at Christmas. It doesn't. It never works that way. You kind of get. I've found a place to not be disappointed. One, if you don't get anything, it's just all right. You just get it yourself. But then it's kind of like I think people, for the most part, are like, "Oh, I got to get this person something," or they ask their wife, "I don't know, what should I get for this person? I don't know. What do they do? I don't know." There's a lot of I don't know, and I think that's just in guy world where guys just, for the most part, aren't good gift givers, right? Tell me if I'm wrong. Like I remember once one of my cousins gave me a Ice Cube tape, and I opened it, and it was half played because he took it out the wrap and he dubbed it, and then he put it back in the wrapping paper, and it was so ridiculous. I thought it was fantastic, but I remember getting gifts just from like guy friends that are just like they're not a wrap. They'll throw something in your lap. Here, Merry Christmas, or it's like in like fish wrap or the funny pages, and it's just like we put forth the minimum effort, lest we look like we try too hard, right? Yo, Maserati, take it all. Representing from Twitch. Sip of coffee for my Twitchers. Says I celebrated New Year's and Christmas twice in jail. Wow, you had a rough one. So I'm gonna just hang with my family this New Year. Family's everything. Trust. Yo, good to see that you're out. That's fantastic. That's right. Family is everything. Um, Fletch says, I got about 10 new sets of D&D dice. Yo, you swinging for the fences, bro. That's what's up. Yeah, I haven't got any Dungeons and Dragons dice in a while. I haven't played in a long time. Jared D says, I shop you around, but not actively. I will keep an eye out for stuff that I think people will like. Like one gift for Kidlit I forgot about because I bought it in May. Is that like the way back in the crawl space? Like, oh shit, didn't I buy something else? I just don't remember what it was. I found some Halloween candy like in November, and I was like, didn't I buy Halloween? Didn't we buy like payday bars? But I don't know. Maybe I dreamt it. It did. I find this stuff like a month later. Like, oh yeah, I guess we did buy that stuff. Yeah, I don't know if people who are in different platforms can see the other ones because Coffee Break with JN is streaming on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. So JRD just said for our homie Maserati, worked in criminal justice. I know how rough that can be. Glad you're able to be with your family. Yo, sip of coffee. Everybody's family here at Coffee Break with JM. JRD says, dude, I found a bag in the closet of candy from 2018. I know you probably tried to eat it on the low, right? You know, when you peel it and don't come off the paper. Just throw that out, bro. Trey says, I always want to gifts. I always want to gifts. I also want to give gifts, and I never forget or get gifts. I missed my friend's birthday last year, and I got them their birthday presents for last year, this year at the same time. That's cool. And I think we all try to act like it's not important, but it's kind of I don't know. I don't get myself in trouble. I don't think the physical thing is important. I think it's the what they say it's the thought that counts, and that'll get you halfway there. But if if that thought is thoughtful, I think that carries more weight than just I was in the line at the supermarket and I got you this Longhorn joint. Go in. And then you get the Longhorn and you try to pay your bill and it was only like $10. Like, I can't get busy. I can't get fresh at Longhorn for $10. What are you doing to me? Right. But less I come off sounding selfish, which is not the case. I think everybody wants to, I don't know. Like I said, you get older, this stuff becomes less important. You just want to see people happy. Yo, what up, Chris? Good to see you. Sip of coffee from my boo, Chris Tresson. The ever effervescent Chris Tresson. All right, I'll play it back for you. Maserati, Jared D said, I worked in criminal justice, so I know how rough that can be. Glad you were able to be with your family. It's very sweet. Yo, right? Agreed. It's the thought doesn't excuse last minute 7-Eleven shopping. Yo, Merry Christmas, fam. Here's a couple of Slim Jims and a scratcher. But yo, scratchers are what's up. I think scratch tickets take a lot of weight off of people. Yo, give your crew some Pac-Man scratchers. They'll be good. But don't get funny if they win, because I've seen people try to do stuff like that. Yo, man, I just want $500 off the scratch ticket. Yo, but what about me? Well, I gave it to you. Come on, don't be like that. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's funny like that. But again, we'll say it again. It's not about all of that. So, um, oh, Maserati, no, he didn't do that, but he was part of the thing, but he wasn't CO. So oh wow, hold on, Maya, what up, Myra? I haven't seen you in forever. Happy New Year! It's good to see you. Where you guys been hiding? Yeah, I was about to just like call it a night, but everybody's starting to show up at the last minute. I respect that. It's good to see y'all. Um, I was going to ask if anybody does resolutions. If you're a fan of New Year's resolutions, somebody just put this meme up where it's someone with Homer Simpson wearing all the jewelry, and he goes, "Gems the first week of the new year." That's hilarious. You guys have any New Year's resolutions? Yo, JCG in the building. What's up, Joel? Good to see you. Nope, no resolutions. Because some people who don't have resolutions will strongly tell you that they don't do resolutions, or you just not have any. But I think it's always worth thinking about, like, what can I like shave off from last year that I was just kind of falling down on. Like I was just thinking, if you really want a donut, can you not eat the donut? You know what I mean? Like that kind of stuff. That could be a resolution. I'm not going to eat garbage and try to eat better. I do think that treadmill, going to the gym membership, is always a destined for failure. Like that's always a rough one. Um, because it just doesn't always work out, because you go into it with the best of intentions, and by February you're back to sitting on the couch with your hand in your pants doing your Al Bundy. You know what I'm saying? Joel says, I just try to do me all year round. That's good. Yeah, I see you shining, bro. Keep going. Anybody else want to share? I know that I've gotten out of the habit of doing those things, just because it's like, you're like Joel said, you're always trying to like just be slow and steady on this. Jardy says, no resolutions here either. I try more for just little lifestyle changes that will have long term effects than trying major ones. Right. It's like, we're getting older, y'all. You got to think about your health. Are you walking? You eating good? Are you eating? Where's July at? Where's Juliet at? Yo, but you eating though? All that stuff kind of adds up. You get up and drink a bottle of water just to get the engine started. Do you drink a lot of coffee, but you don't drink any water, or do you drink? What I usually ask you guys all the time: do you have a pitcher of some sort of juice in your refrigerator? What is it? You know what I'm saying? Like all of those things are, I think, easy replacements. So kind of like when you see these fancy cookbook people and they're like, yo, are you a vegan? You can replace this for that. Instead of using this, use applesauce. And it's like, oh, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, these cookies still taste good, but I put applesauce in it. But, I think we train our brains to think that things aren't good if they're not always made the way we used to do it. But there's better alternatives for us. Son, oh, you have a picture saying agree, I'm coming over. Maserati says your resolution is not to mess your parole up. Try to smoke less weed. That's a good one. And get back to my mom's to show her I'm thankful, grateful for everything she's done. Yo, those are great resolutions. And even on the weed thing, I know, especially in the time we're in, it's just like people feel like that could be like self-care, self-medicating is kind of what they call that now. If you find out that it's kind of like messing your life up, or like kind of slowing you down, or just kind of putting you in a bad spot, yeah, it's just maybe, consider a different way to find that peace. You know what I'm saying? JRD says, I drink four things: tea and water, mostly, then occasionally coffee, tomato juice, or diet ginger ale. Okay. Yo, Canada Dry diet. Is that the diet cranberry ginger ale? Yeah, that's refreshing. Jim Luhan says, resolution, applesauce. That sounds like the new Mission Impossible movie title. Resolution, applesauce. Fletch says, I find living in the Northeast makes resolutions harder because it's still midwinter and I'm full on bear hibernation mode. Yo, facts. Walk more. It's cold outside. Eat better. I want comfort food in the cold. Yo, you're right, man. And I know it's even really hard to like try to like be on your, on your Nami in the middle. Once it hits October and Halloween comes up, and you start getting putting people start bringing Halloween candy around, or you're at your office, and Monica shows up with with the pumpkin donuts. It's just like it's just a plane crash all the way to January. So it's kind of like if you were even being well coming out of the summer, coming from cookouts and all of that. If you think about it, there's points where you're eating horribly the whole year, right? Let's talk about that. So just like summer, right? If you have a good summer and you go on a cookouts, you go on a barbecue, you wind up eating real well, and then it's just like there's a point where you're looking at the refrigerator like, yo, I gotta stop. So that's the summer. Then you close out the summer with more of that burgers, hot dogs, whatever, your summer food. And then you hit the fall and the weather changes, and like Fletch says, now it's like, yeah, I kind of need to. I need to store. I need to store this fat. And you start like, I want soup now. I want like mashed potato. You know what I mean? You want that soul food, that comfort food. And then next it's Thanksgiving, and then it's Christmas, and people have pie, and it's a mess. JRD Maserati's got some advice. See, welcome to Coffee Break with Jay and Maserati. You just fell in the room. The love is flowing. JRD says, baby steps. Focus on the small gains every week rather than the large goals. You will get further and be happier. You have this. That's group. Welcome to group, fam. That makes me feel good. JRD says, true, JN. The first 2 weeks of January are the only days in which advertising focuses on eating healthy. Yo, man, you're so right. Yo, he's right. Yo, it's set up, man. I need the wire gift where my man was like, that's true. Like eating healthy for every budget, not just those with lots of cash. Right, right. But it's like you ate like garbage for 6 months, 7 months of the year. And now you're supposed to go to the gym on January 1st and make up for it. Your body's on a decline for a while. You know what I mean? So that's why just like doing what you saw, baby steps is important. And, what am I talking about? I'm no fit dude, but, we try our best. I'm running out of coffee, you guys. This was good. The energy came up at the end. I think that's cool. But I have a couple of sippers left. Shout outs to sippers. Let's see my sippers out there. And I also busted out the yo, that's a thing, right? I heard that you can go to Planet Fitness and eat pizza. Yo, you into fitness? I'm into fitness pizza in my mouth. Yo, when Trey said, "Can I get an amen?" See how hungry I am. I thought he said, "Can I get some ramen?" Can I get a ramen? Yo, I love ramen. Trey says 80-20 is pretty dope. 80% healthy food through the week, 20% whatever you want. Is that kind of the equivalent of a cheat day? Like for those gym rats, they used to call it like a cheat day. Like you would just like go in like the whole week, and then on Saturday you kind of eat whatever you want to kind of make up for the abuse. You know what I'm saying? Um, yeah. It's equivalent of a cheat day. Chris says, "Yo, you like calories? You like CDs? You like caloric intake?" Chris says, "Better hydration, vegan at best, fishgatarian at worst. Thank God vegan junk food is a thing. Oh, you got the Insta joint. Vegan junk food. Yo, that sounds wild. That sounds like I remember I said to somebody, it's probably not correct now. Back when tofu was, people were still kind of figuring out what tofu was about. And like somebody brought tofu dogs to a barbecue, and I was like, that looks like melted Barbie doll legs. I'm not eating that. You got to switch that up, yo. You get to a certain age, you can't eat that stuff anymore. My uncle said to me a long time ago, Jamar, I was a young man. He said, Jamar, after 25, a man can't digest McDonald's Big Macs. And damn it, he was right. I can't eat that stuff. And what I think the funny thing is that if you really, I don't know, I'm talking like I'm some expert. I ain't an expert in nothing. But if you kind of like go into those spots and you're train your body to just eat like that all the time and eat like that all the time, you're going to want it all the time. It's kind of like being like you're kind of like your body is kind of rewiring itself to kind of want to eat trash. And I guess I'm losing my McDonald's sponsorship after that. And if you kind of move away from that for a while, and I don't, this isn't even like a finances thing. It's just like, we'll try to find better ways to, like, maybe you have fast food once a week, right? That could be your cheat, right? You figure out how to get busy the whole week, make yourself lunch, you know, make yourself a big thing of soup every Sunday night and just, roll with that. And then on, maybe Friday you go ham in the Popeyes, or you get, go in at the corner Chinese spot or whatever, and then you kind of keep it in your system, but you're not riding with it, There's, once you get to a certain age, everything starts hitting the wall. It's not a good look. Jared D. Maserati's like the MVP of this episode. Sip of coffee from my Twitcher. Maserati's the only person on Twitch watching this. Jared D says, Maserati, I'm type 2, and my wife made a cookie recipe that doesn't spike my sugars. Does it have applesauce in it? You can have the best of both worlds. You can do it. You can do it. Yeah, Chris, I think my Lose It app's still on my phone. I haven't opened that thing. I just fired up my Lose It app again. Might as well use my anxiety for some good. Yeah, facts. And, there's an old thing, and I haven't done it in a while, but I know it really works. There's something about, and I think there's a real egghead word for it. Jared D probably knows. What happens when you actually write something down? It's you're kind of putting it into the universe, and there's some sort of kind of mental thing that happens when you're transferring something from your brain to paper versus typing it, put it in your phone, or type it on a keyboard. When you write something down, it makes it more real. And I know when people keep food journals, like, what did I eat today? If you never think about it, you'll be surprised about how much crap we eat in a day. Like, I was hungry, so I went to the bodega and I copped the crunchy mini donuts with a, what I mean, with an ice cream sandwich. Then for lunch, I had a cheesesteak. And then for dinner, I had another cheesesteak. And then you're just like, yo, you ate like garbage all day. But if you write it down, you can start to make adjustments, because you're like, oh, wow. They'll even talk about how you'd be surprised. And this is especially for young people, how you never look at serving sizes, right? Like a bag of chips is the bag of chips, but the thing on the back says 290 calories. And you're like, yo, you just ate 1,600 calories because you went in on a bag of Fritos. Anyway, don't get me started. JRD says, I was always big. You remember JN, but it was taking care of my mom at the end that I stopped taking care of myself. Stress is a mug. Topped out at 500. You were not 500 pounds. Yo. Well, you hold it well, dude. But yeah, that's a lot of weight, bro. I'm trying to get back to the old me, and it takes a lot. It's a lot. Maserati says, "I don't know what's up. I'm skinny as AF. I'm eating garbage every day. I need the calories. If I start eating vegetables and low fat and stuff, I'm gonna disappear." For Earth, high metabolism. Yo, high metabolism problems. I feel you on that. Well, yeah, that's like yeah, building mass. That's a whole other thing. My old buddy Gio, who would hang out around all the time, he changed his diet. Like he's a thin dude, but he changed his diet around to kind of like what Chris was saying, like eating vegan stuff, and he started packing on muscle. And I don't know anything about that world. It's really interesting to talk about. Oh, yo, Trey with the Erica quote. Write it down on real paper with a real pencil and watch the shit get real. Yo, facts. Here you go. I knew JD would come with it. Yeah, the motor skills triggered from handwriting causes different memory retention than typing, which is more muscle memory. See, I told y'all. I told y'all. Ooh, did him what he did. Fletch says, "Isn't this crazy how the show just turned into this? We get real in group." Fletch says, "Recording on my caloric intake on the Lose It app did help with the bored eating or the mindless eat while watching TV. You have to account for that stuff. Where they say calories don't count on vacation, calories don't count during Thanksgiving either, but it starts to add up, y'all." Wow. Good for you, bro. Sip of coffee. Oh, I got to put my sippers up. Get your sippers up. Sip of coffee for everybody trying to stay healthy out here. Because guess what, y'all? There's only one of you. Nobody can do what you do except you. So when you're not here, nobody's going to do it. So we got to take, if I don't have a resolution, but my thing is, yo, we got to take care of ourselves out here. The world is crazy. There's a transformer out there trying to get us all. Cass is wilding out in the street. You got to be safe, got to be careful. You got to, we got to live, yo. That's fantastic. You keep doing you. That's what's up. Thanks for hanging out. This was fun. Trey says lentils will take weight off you and cinnamon tea. I heard something about cinnamon tea. JRD says being 6'6" helped a lot at hiding my size. Yeah, man, you put a big shirt on, you're good, right? Because people already think you're big, not you, JRD, just the royal you. So it's easy to kind of move that around. No, I feel you. Your Maserati, you got to hang around. I'm one of my New Year's things is I want to put some time into the Twitch, as I think right now it's just like a white page, and I haven't put anything on it. And I've been streaming to different platforms, but I really like what happens on Twitch. Like the communities are real serious, and they have their own language over there at Twitch. And I kind of lurk on a couple of people's Twitches, and they're really addicting. It's like, yo, I want to hang out with these people all day. But then I remember I have you guys to come home to. So I turn that off and I turn on my JNN network of programming. I'm JRD, I'm not putting that up. But yeah, also Maserati, if you want, you could jump on the YouTube stream and then you'd see everybody's chat, because that's where everybody's basically on the YouTube. I stream on, I don't, do I have that somewhere? Pencil to Pencil. I'll type that in real quick. I don't know. Do I need to put that on here? If you're watching it, then you've already seen it. Hold on. And what's also cool is that as we're on our slow march to 1,000 subs on Pencil to Pencil, is that you get to see a gang of content. We're talking about doing some really fun stuff in the new year with Pencil to Pencil. Trying to line up a fresh batch of guests, maybe even some new segments. Boot camp will return. I'm thinking we might reconfigure boot camp so it's not so scary. Maybe I'll stop putting the angry drill sergeant images on boot camp on the thumbnail, so people will actually show up. That's what's up. But yeah, yeah, jump on over. On that's the Philly streaming on. Yo, I'm on that stream, yo. And get on the good foot. But yeah, I'm gonna start wrapping this up. This was fun. Um, I am missing some of my caffeines. We got to do it before we go. You know who you are. You know who your caffeines are. Friends and regulars, not decaf. A coffee break with Jay. And who are those people? Those are my day ones. Those are the riders. Those are my patronuses. Those are the is it Thursday yetters? Those are the go getters, the heavy hitters, and the no quitters. You know how we do on Coffee Break with JN. I've been doing these streams before record contract. I was doing this, what, 2 years, 3 years? How long have I been doing? JRD's like the keeper of the files. JRD, do you know how long I've been doing Coffee Break? It's had to been, it was before the pandemic. So that's already almost 2 years. I didn't fall out the back of a turnip truck. Been here forever, slowly bringing people into the circle, into the shaft of light known as Jamar Nicholas. And I want to spread my light across the world, not in a weird way, but just like in a positive way, as I say to our shorty Sues. This is what group is for. I'm the internet safe space. The internet's a hot dumpster fire, but you show up here on Thursday nights at 9 o'clock to feel good about stuff, to have a common man that you can share stories with, break bread with. That's what happens here. Be a caffeine, why don't you? Well, what do you have to do to be caffeine? Nothing. You just show up. Just show up. Right, Marshall? Just show up. Have a good night, Marshall. Y'all have your own conversations in here. That's crazy. Wow. Jared T said coffee break started in 2018, before Christmas. Bro, that's crazy. Yeah, you're right. I was kind of doing coffee breaks. I was just kind of jump on. But, during the pandemic, I was doing them. Yo, Miguel, I didn't even know you were here. What's up, bro? All right, good night. You also have to drink coffee, according to Suze. That's right. No decaf in this Humpty Dumpty. But you guys always show up at the butt end of the stream to tell me you were here. You know, Miguel would love to talk to you all night, but you ain't say nothing. All right, you guys, that's enough. Good to see you. Hope to see you on the other side. It was great working with you, Dr. Vinkman. Uh, we can only go up. Even when we're down, we get back up. Remember, you heard it here first. Nothing is impossible. I'm a cartoonist. My job is to make something out of nothing. Everybody has value. You have value. You have worth. People love you. And what else do you need after that? All right, let's say these goodbyes, you guys. You see, JRD said, Maserati, you come back next week, all right? You take care of yourself, right? Keep your head up. Good night, y'all. Let's get those goodbyes going. Good night, everybody. Good night, John Boy. Yo, good night, E. Yo, it's Maserati. What's up, fam? All right. Wow. You made a channel just to hang with the posse. That's what's up. Yay. All right. Cool, bro. You keep your head up. Keep your nose clean, bro. We need to keep you on the other side of that gate. Good night, everybody. Welcome. Welcome to Coffee Break. Welcome to group. That's what's up. All right, you guys, let's go home. You've been watching Coffee Break with JN, with your boy JN. The Black Dusty Roads. Kevin Scrapple, because bacon was taken. And also, I love it, John Luc Picard. What happened here tonight? You got to hang out with the posse. You got to hang out with the crew, and we chopped it up real lovely. And you also get to watch me. Where's my thing? Drink coffee and run my mouth. But now that I'm out of coffee, you know what to tell them, Trey. Video's over. See you next week. Happy New Year.